When the war in Ukraine started, the world around me changed in a second. The news headlines became louder, conversations at home became deeper. Words like enemy, ally were being thrown in the air. Now, I was younger back then, and as many young people, I absorbed more than I questioned. And so it happens that one evening, me and my cousin did something I still think about to this day. We wrote some racial slurs on our Russian neighbor's door. Now, I want to point out that is not something I would proudly decide to do. In fact, I was against it at first. But he kept pushing me. He said, "It's just a joke. Nobody will care. Everybody hates the Russians anyway." And so right then, right there, I made the choice. I didn't speak up. I didn't walk away. I chose the easier option. I followed along. It was small at first, just some words on a door, but it didn't stay that way for long. Soon, our parents found out, and I was punished, grounded, lectured, but the real punishment didn't come from my parents. It came later, when I was alone, having time to think and contemplate about what happened. And here's the truth. Nobody forced me to do it. Not my parents, not my cousin, not the news, not the war, me. Psychologists speak about something called social influence, the idea that people, especially young people, adjust their actions to fit in or avoid conflict. And research shows that many adolescents are much more likely to commit petty crime when they are with their peers. Now, that may have been the reason why I did such a thing, but the explanation is not the same as excuse. And that was the hardest truth for me to accept. Because it would have been easier for me to say I was pressured. Easier for me to say I didn't mean it. Easier for me to say I was influenced. But influence does not remove responsibility. A French philosopher and writer, Albert Camus, once said, "Life is but the sum of all our choices." And this quote, it stuck with me because it doesn't let us hide. It's uncomfortable. It reminds us that silence is still our choice, that following along with something wrong is still our decision. Now, this experience, it taught me to grow. It taught me that morality isn't tested when choices are easy. It's tested when saying no costs you comfort, approval, or belonging. Each and every one of you in your lives will have to face a decision when the crowd pulls one way and your conscience another. But years later, when all the noise is gone, it won't be the pressure you remember, it will be the choice you made under it. Now, my mistake does not define me, but it reminds me of who I choose to be today. Because remember, life isn't shaped by your intentions, it's shaped by your choices.